I picked up this Robin Wright cassette. I'm not sure who she is as a singer, but I also noticed the cassette was signed. Never really pass up an opportunity, especially when DVDs, CDs, media is signed, because it potentially could be worth more money. One category that I'm very familiar with is tennis rackets. I do actively play tennis, so I hardly ever have to really look it up to see if it holds value. In this case, it did not. I also never pass up an opportunity to look at cameras. The reason I'm over here is not necessarily for these cameras, but it's the camera to my left that gentleman is currently looking at. He was there for a little while, so I had to come back. Luckily, he left it behind. It was actually a camera that was worth about $40 to $50, but it had a $25 price tag. So I went to the seller and I asked if I could have it for $10, and he was like, sure. So I'm going to walk away with a decent profit on that camera. The next pickup was a personal buy. I noticed that this was Black & Decker brand compatible 18-volt battery tools, which was about 8 tools in the box for $40. Since I already run this style of battery and this tool, this would just add to what I've already had. I went to the seller, offered $25, and they accepted. And I walked away with a great deal.
Hold on, I'll catch you.
If you wanted to see the exact layout of the estate I'm currently going through, here's an aerial map of it. How convenient! If there was one thing that I could gather from this individual, from this estate sale, is that they were truly an artist, but they also enjoyed woodworking and electronics, is what I found throughout the entirety of this house.
And building all that stuff. Wow.
It is. Should have seen it in the beginning.
The first thing I saw when I walked up these stairs were those 3 projectors, and they were pretty heavy duty. For me, I had no way of taking these, so I had to leave them behind, but for that one person that wants a really great projector, well, there you go. This room was filled with toys and games and those Connect sets and dolls, and for $1 each, these games are a great price. But to be very honest, as a reseller, I got to this closet too late. I can clearly tell that it's been picked over and all the good stuff has been taken. I didn't get a chance to capture it with the GoPro, but under the table to the right-hand side was all the software and PC games for this individual. The unique thing is that not only did I find PC games that I could resell, but I also found the complete software that ran the woodworking machine at the beginning of the video. All the software I went ahead and I picked up, and I was only charged $5. I'll tell you at the end of the video what I can sell it for.
Yep, exactly. Okay, thank you. Party Central here, right? Yeah. It must have been really loud out here. Look at this. Look at the fireplace heat right there. Yeah. Right.
That's neat. Pool. Big pool. Ready?
Yeah. Quite a setup here.
Yeah.
The old stuff that I can't use.
The next thing I pick up is an attachment for a printer. What you're supposed to do is slide in your old negatives, it'll scan them, and you should be able to print your old photos. When I checked it on eBay, thinking I had something, these were some of the original converters, in which the resolution was very poor compared to what you have now, so the value just wasn't there.
Watch your ankle, you're right by that there.
These are all boards. If I knew anything about that. This estate sale was really great. Before we even got to go in, I had talked to the owners of the property, which they had recently just purchased the entirety of the lot, meaning that it was bought as is. None of the belongings were their actual belongings, and they had no relation to the person that had lived in the house prior to them. They're just trying to unload a lot of these items. They had mentioned that there are prices on certain items, but they are more than willing to negotiate, and they're more than willing to bundle a lot of these items, and I take that as a challenge. I'm one to go through bins, I'm one to go through boxes. I love finding items that I can pair together and get for a better price so I can make a little bit more profit on eBay. One of the first items that we would see was that woodworking machine right as you enter the property. That was a very nice machine for somebody to pick up. I had no way of bringing that home, but a little later on in the day, I went ahead and I found the software that belongs to that machine without realizing it until I got home. So I went ahead and I picked up the Bobcat Cam 24, version 24 and the Express version 21. This goes for about $180 to $200. This goes for about $120 to $150 because this is the software that runs that machine. But I managed to pair this with some software that I found, pretty much PC games, and I'm talking early 90s PC games that I picked up for $5. I had already sold the games. I still have these available. All for $5. I was really surprised by that. I also showed you that Microsoft Zune at one point. If you're unfamiliar with Microsoft Zune, be sure to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and stay tuned till the end. You'll see it, I promise. That also goes for good money, surprisingly. It was the competitor to the iPod, and it didn't do as well. You can imagine why, but it still has a collector's market in which people do collect electronics. Earlier in the sale, I had mentioned that I also found a camera in a case for $25. When I went to go do that bundle, he went ahead and priced that at $10 for me, and it worked, and it had the battery and the charger and the instruction manual. So that was gonna be an easy $40 to $50 as a flip. And personally, I went ahead and I picked up all of those Black & Decker tools. A lot of the tools that I use, especially around the house and around the garden, are going to have those 18 volt to larger quantity batteries, but I already have them in my arsenal. So I went ahead and I picked up 8 different tools that all work on that battery, not for the $40 price point, but for $25. So hey, I didn't have to go Home Depot, spend hundreds of dollars. I spent $25 and I got some pretty decent tools for personal use. I got some pretty awesome software that's gonna help somebody in their wood cutting machine that they're looking for, and that camera is definitely gonna bring in some money. I'm still trying to figure out my weirdest item that I picked up, what I could sell it for, because I had never seen something like this before because it was custom. I went ahead in the very last room with the software. I picked up a Coors Light custom made out of a tree stump almost, or a slice of a tree. Out of that wood cutting machine was a Coors Light clock sign. Nothing else like it. You know, I have to figure out if I can get a clock to put inside of it. But somebody will probably want to have that as in their collection or put it up in their home bar. But to be very honest, it's very heavy, so I will probably ship it via Facebook Marketplace. If I do happen to get photos, I will post them on Instagram to show you. It was just a little bit too big to bring in the video for today. If you really enjoyed today's video, be sure to click that like button. If you had a great, fantastic time, be sure to tell your friends about it, and also click that subscribe button. If you had any questions, comments, or anything that I might have missed in this video, be sure to leave it in the comments below. As always, my name's Tom, and this has been TRB Collectibles.